Hi guys, I'm Takira. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys saw in the title, I am going to be doing the Show Me Your Dent tag, and that is pretty much where I show you guys my most used perfumes in my collection. This tag was started by Kia from Yummy411 here on YouTube, and she's also who tagged me to do this tag. I watched her video and I thought it was a really fun video concept, especially since I myself have a lot of perfumes that have relatively large dents in them. Most of my perfumes have some sort of dent, most likely because I'm an oversprayer, but also because obviously I wear my perfumes. So I wanted to just show you guys 10 perfumes, but when I was going through my collection, I don't know, it just seemed unfair to some of my other perfumes to not include them in this video as well, because a lot of them were around like the same level. So I think I have like 15 here. And the way I decided to pick the ones I would be showing you guys was by seeing which perfumes had half or more used. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into the video because it's probably gonna be a long one. I don't plan to talk about the scent of the perfume all that much in this video because most of these you guys have seen on my channel before. I'll probably briefly mention like how they smell to me, just real quick, like
the lies. There you go, this bitch. I'm telling you.
And I'll most likely just be telling you guys how they got their dent. Maybe, I don't know, we'll figure it out as we go, whatever comes organically. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. This will not be in any particular order. I just have a box sitting here next to me that I've put my about 15, like I said, in, and I'm just gonna be grabbing from that one. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do this one first because this is basically an empty. So this will be the one that has the largest dent. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. This video will not be including any fragrances that you guys have seen in my empties videos. If you guys want to see fragrances that I've used up completely, then go check those videos out because I'm not going to talk about them again here. These will only be fragrances that are currently in my collection that are my most used. This first one here, like I said, is basically an empty, and this is Dolce & Gabbana, the only one that you guys have heard me talk about many times. As you can see, there's like nothing in here. I already have a backup of it. And as I previously mentioned, this one smells like a combination of Leviable and Black Opium Nuit Blanche to me. It has that fruitiness and it does have a patchouli note in it, but it's not as potent as the patchouli note in Leviable. But the fruitiness and that slight patchouli scent that it has reminds me of Leviable. And the fruit note I get in this most is that pear note. And then it has that caramel latte scent that I get from Black Opium Nuit Blanche. So you guys know I love this fragrance. This is one that I think I got this in like July of last year, so I didn't even have it that long. I used it up quite fast, I think. But this is one that I like to wear on its own. It's one that I like to layer with a lot of my coffee or like caramel scents. It's one I'll just pretty much throw on with a lot of things. So that's how I ran through it so fast because yeah, it's one I picked up for a lot of different reasons. And that's another thing I forgot to mention. I need to start taking notes. If I took notes, then I would be able to keep my thoughts together and tell you guys everything that I want to tell you, but I be trying to just have it all up here, and sometimes that doesn't work. But something else I wanted to mention was that any fragrance bottles that are opaque, meaning that you can't see the dents, I didn't include them in this. And there are some that I'm sure have a really large dent in them or are almost empty, but I can't see how much is left. So kind of defeats the purpose of the show me your dent tag if I can't show you my dent. So fragrances like Killian Princess and Viva La Juicy Gold Couture, I know those have like large dents in them. Viva La Juicy Gold Couture is because I use it for layering purposes. I don't wear that one by itself. It's kind of like the only one where I pair it with like coffee scents or caramel scents, just like I use that one as kind of like a topper. It just adds a bit more sweetness and a tad bit of fruitiness and a little caramel to other fragrances. And Princess is just because I love it. I don't layer it with anything. I just literally, when I wear it, I douse myself in it. So I know those are probably almost gone, but you won't see them here because you can't see the dent. Anyway, That is Dolce Gabbana, the only one, and that is pretty much empty. That's my first one. So this next one you guys haven't seen on my channel yet, and this is Amazing Margiela Replica Coffee Break. So as you can see, I have used about half. And I think I got this at the beginning of this month. And by this month, I mean January, just in case it's February when this video goes up. But yeah, and I've already used half of it. Now, y'all are probably like, what? That's crazy. But when I got it, first of all, I'm obsessed with this scent. When I got it and I smelled it and I started wearing it, it was just one that I was kind of addicted to. And I wanted to wear it like every day. I really had to stop myself from reaching for it. As you can see, that obviously didn't go very well. But I stopped myself from reaching for it as much because I was literally grabbing for it every day. I was layering it on with other fragrances. I was spraying it on for bed. It's just, yeah, I love this. So Jeanette Antoinette here on YouTube actually has been telling me to try this, and I really don't know what took me so long to try it. I think the Fragrantica reviews kind of scared me off because it had mixed reviews. A lot of people were saying they don't smell the coffee or that it had bad performance, all of that. So I'm really mad I'm just not trying this. But I'm just happy to have it now. So to me, in the opening, this literally smells like you have a coffee with loads of caramel syrup. Like maybe even more caramel syrup than coffee. Literally, it's like that sweet, and I don't think there's a caramel note listed on Fragrantica. I don't know if there's actually one in here, but my nose tells me there's a caramel note in this. So yeah, you have the coffee with more caramel syrup than coffee, and then you have a splash of lavender milk. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but that's what it smells like to me. So you have this sweet, creamy, milky, aromatic coffee scent in the opening. And as it dries down, I feel like the sweetness settles a bit and the lavender becomes like the most prominent note. I love lavender. So if you don't love lavender, then you might not enjoy this fragrance. But yeah, in the dry down, the lavender is the most prominent note for me. And I still get the coffee and I still get the sweetness, but the sweetness is more subtle in the dry down, and it's still like a milky, creamy, sweet coffee, but more so in the background. I feel like in the dry down is when it actually kind of reminds me of like a coffee break. And I feel like that's why some people don't enjoy it, because they expect like just this blast of coffee and it just to be an overly coffee scented fragrance. Coffee break to me literally means like you're taking a break and you're like drinking coffee. That could be literally anywhere. When I drink my coffee, I'm in my house right now because I'm working from home and I have plugins in my house. Okay, this is what I'm thinking in dry down. Think like you're drinking your coffee with your milk or cream or whatever you put in your coffee, a few pumps of caramel syrup in the dry down, just not as heavy on the caramel in the dry down, and you're maybe in a coffee shop and they have like a diffuser that has lavender essential oil in it. So think that you're smelling the lavender essential oil in the air while you're drinking your coffee with your creamer and your caramel syrup. That's what the dry down reminds me of. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed or not when I showed you the bottle, but it is a unisex fragrance. But I agree that it's unisex, so I feel like it's more masculine leaning, and I think it's probably because of that lavender note, which is why a lot of people don't like lavender. I think they find lavender to be too masculine. I feel like in this fragrance, the lavender note that they use is more masculine leaning, but I like that masculine edge that it gives, and I feel like this will smell amazing on a man. And performance wise, oh my gosh, I said I wasn't gonna talk too much about these. Y'all haven't heard me talk about this one, so that's why I'm talking so much about it. But anyway, performance wise, I feel like when you first spray it on, it has about moderate projection, and I think that lasts for about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours for me. And then after that, it gets closer to the skin. So I feel like that's why people complain about the performance. I'll occasionally get whiffs of it, and longevity wise, it doesn't have the greatest longevity on me anyway, and I typically don't have much of an issue with longevity. It's not bad. I'd say anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. Typically it would be towards the 8-hour mark if I layered it with something else, but towards the end of the wear, to smell it, I would have to literally like sniff where I sprayed it. It wouldn't be like me smelling it around me. But yeah, anyway, that is Replica Coffee Break and I am literally obsessed with this. I haven't gotten tired of it yet, and that says a lot seeing as I've used half of it in just this month alone. So if you like lavender, if you like coffee, if you like creamy, sweet fragrances, then I think you should give this one a try. Oh, this video is gonna be so long. Okay. So I'll talk about the next one you guys haven't. Oh my gosh, I have like 2 more that you guys haven't seen. I'm gonna try not to talk as long about the rest of them as I did with that one, because that was too much, but I got excited. So this next one is by Solo Notes, and this is Vanille. And I purchased this from Target. As you can see, I have used half of this. This is one that I used primarily for bed, used and still use. It's literally just a really sweet cooked vanilla and sugar scent. It reminds me of a lesser quality version of the tuh-KAH-ruh. It doesn't just smell bad quality. That's not what I mean when I say lesser quality. But in tuh-KAH-ruh, I feel like the tuh-KAH-ruh Vanilla 28, that is, which is also in here. I'll talk about that one next. But I feel like it smells like a pure vanilla extract, and this smells like artificial vanilla extract. I think it's called vanillin, if I'm not mistaken. So I think you have some artificial vanilla extract and white sugar, and you cook it on the stove a bit to caramelize it to the point where it's almost a bit burnt. So it has like a burnt vanilla sugar scent to it, or a toasted vanilla sugar scent, not quite burnt. I really enjoy it. If you like your gourmand vanillas, just straight up sweet vanilla, then I think you might like this as well. So yeah, again, that is Vanille by Solo Notes. So next, I'll go ahead and talk about the tuh-KAH-ruh Vanilla 28 fragrance. Here's what that looks like. And this is the big boy. This is a 100 ml bottle, and as you can see, I have quite the dent in this. So as I was saying, this to me is like a more quality version of the Vanille. This is more oriental though. That isn't oriental at all. That's just like a straight up gourmand vanilla. I feel like this one is more of an oriental gourmand vanilla scent. So this smells like you have pure vanilla extract and brown sugar, and you put it on the stove to caramelize to the point to where it's a bit burnt. Kind of like that one, but it's like a toasted brown sugar vanilla. It has this oriental edge to it. I think that's the burnt vibe I'm getting from this. It smells more than just your traditional gourmand vanilla, and it layers well with a lot of different fragrances. It layers well with my gourmand fragrances as well as oriental fragrances. This is my favorite vanilla fragrance in my collection. And I wanted to note something that I noticed personally. I don't know if this is other people's experience, but as you guys can see, my juice is relatively dark. When I first got it, it was light, but y'all know that when perfumes have vanilla in them, they can deepen over time, and that's what happened with mine. And I've noticed that as it deepens, the performance seems to get better for me. In the beginning, it was pretty soft, and I feel like I would spray it on sometimes and I wouldn't smell it. But now that the juice is deeper, it performs better. Like I said, it still isn't like a huge projector, which I'm okay with, but I can smell it while I'm wearing it, and it has pretty decent longevity. I'd say 6 to 8 hours. And yeah, I sampled this before I purchased it, and the sample was like a beast, and the juice was like super dark. I think it was darker than mine is right now. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like over time the performance for this one gets better. I don't know if it needs time to macerate or what, but yeah, I love this. And the reason for this dent is because I use this by itself when I'm in the mood to just smell like a straight up delicious oriental vanilla scent. And I also layer it with a lot of other fragrances. Like I said, anytime I feel like I just want to add some additional vanilla to a fragrance, or add vanilla to a fragrance in general, I spray this on top. I use it as a topper most times because it doesn't have a huge projection. But yeah, again, that is tuh-KAH-ruh Vanilla 28. So the rest of the fragrances you guys have heard me talk about before, so I'm gonna try to go through them relatively quickly, so we're not here all day. I feel like it's already way too long as it is. So the next fragrance I have here is It All by Lancome. And you guys know I love this. As you can see, I've used about half. And I feel like this is just the type of bottle that, because of how thin it is and the width, I feel like it looks like you've used more than you've actually used. Granted, I think I still have used a lot because I have been reaching for this a lot, but I feel like it went down like super fast. So yeah, if you guys have this, tell me if you think the same, because I feel like that's really what it is. But this is just a sweet, sparkling, fresh pear, rose, and vanilla scent. This is literally perfect. It's just like clean and inoffensive. I feel like this is one that people just love on you. I usually get compliments when I wear this, and that's saying a lot because y'all know where I live, people don't like giving compliments like that. So typically I get compliments and people ask me what I'm wearing. So they're curious as to what it is, meaning that they probably want to pick it up for themselves or for a significant other. But yeah, I feel like that's a great way to describe it. Just literally a fresh, clean, sparkling, sweet pear, vanilla, and rose scent. There's a bit of creaminess as well to it from that vanilla note. Love this. And again, that is Eat All by Lancome. So this next fragrance I haven't had for long either, and the dent has just gotten larger since the last time you saw it. The fragrance I'm talking about is Angel's Share by Kilian, and as you guys can see, the dent is massive. I think I've used a little bit over half. And this is another one of those bottles that I feel like the juice goes down way too fast. I think because of the width of the bottle. I love how the bottle looks, but the fact that the juice goes down that fast just makes me really nervous. And Kilian has yet to come out with a refill for this, so I've kind of stopped reaching for it as much because of that. But this is another one that I would probably have been wearing like every day if it didn't go down so fast. The difference with Coffee Break is that it is a 100 ml. Yeah, it's a 100 ml bottle, so I didn't feel as bad. And you see, once it got halfway, I was like, okay, it's time to slow down. Same thing happened. When I got halfway, I was like, all right, not until they give us a refill bottle, which I'm gonna need them to do ASAP. I asked them when they plan on releasing it because it is refillable, which makes me think they will be coming out with a refill bottle at some point, but they haven't responded to me yet. Kilian, if you're watching this, which I doubt, but if you are, can you please let us know? As I told you guys, to me, it smells like a boozy cinnamon roll or like a boozy apple pie fragrance. For me, the booziness in this isn't overly boozy. It's definitely there, but I'm not the type of person who really enjoys very boozy scents, but the booziness in this doesn't bother me and I actually like it here. The cinnamon note in this fragrance is the most prominent note on me from beginning to end. And then there's some sweetness. I'm guessing the sweetness is probably coming from the praline note that's in it. It's like this airy caramelized sweetness. And then there's a woodiness to this as well. And I feel like it's coming from that oak note. I think what they were going for, like I said in our previous video, was like the oak note to be like the oak barrels that the cognac is aged in. To me, this is perfection. I know some people think it's overhyped. I don't. I'm part of the hype train. I love it. When the refill becomes available, I will get it. If it's still cold, like it's starting to get a little warm here, so I'm gonna need them to hurry up. But yeah, for me, it has good performance here. I feel like I've gotten a compliment every time I've worn this, from strangers and all. People literally go out of their way to compliment me on this fragrance. The last compliment I got from this was in a mall. The lady was walking behind me and she wasn't very close. She had to be more than 6 feet away, so that means that it has a good sillage. And I was getting ready to leave the mall, but then I realized that I forgot to go to another store, so I turned back around. And when she walked past me, she was like, excuse me, I just wanted to tell you that whatever perfume you're wearing, you smell amazing. And this day I sprayed it on pretty lightly. Like I only did like 5 sprays. I know it's not light for some people. That's very light for me. And the reason why I sprayed it on anyway was because this was the only one I had in my purse at the time. So obviously performs better than even I thought it did, because 5 sprays, that is so unlike me. But yeah, it has decent projection. It's one that I feel like is more airy as opposed to dense, meaning that I feel like it doesn't feel heavy while you're wearing it, but people can still smell it on you. So yeah, again, that is Angel's Share by Kilian. And I have a little bit of everything in here, as you guys can probably see. I have cheapies, I have designer, I have niche. So yeah, this next fragrance is a celebrity fragrance, and this is Private Show by Britney Spears. As you can see, I've used about half of this as well. This was a tester, so it didn't come with the cap. That's why the cap is missing. But this is literally a, let me see. It smells so yummy. So I think I've described this as, it's definitely a dulce de leche scent, but it has a coffee note as well. So kind of like with the opening of Coffee Break, I feel like this one is your coffee with tons of dulce de leche, literally like more dulce de leche than coffee. Like your dulce de leche with a splash of coffee maybe. And then as it settles on the skin, oh my gosh, I haven't worn this in a while. Had on something, but woo. As it dries down, I get more of that fruitiness, and it's like a juicy, sweet fruitiness from that nectarine note. And that's mostly what I get from this fragrance. Just dulce de leche coffee and a nectarine note. Mostly dulce de leche though. It's a sweet, definitely gourmand for sure, cozy scent. It doesn't have huge projection, and as you guys just saw me spray it on, I literally spray it like a body spray when I spray it on, because I know it's not one that is gonna choke me out or choke anybody else out, I don't think, because I don't feel like it projects a whole lot. Longevity is decent. I'd say about 6 hours. But after about the first hour, hour and a half, it becomes closer to skin. So this is one that I like to wear to bed a lot, or I use it to layer with other fragrances that may have a dulce de leche note, or just whatever I want to layer it with. Like I've layered it with This Is Her by Zadig and Voltaire, which is also in this lineup. Just add a bit more sweetness to that fragrance. But yeah, really enjoy this. It's super cheap. I think I paid like $11 for this on FragranceNet, so I think it's worth giving a try. And being that it's so cheap, I don't feel bad about having to overspray it. I overspray anyway, so I just overspray this one a little bit more than I do others, and I love it. So again, that is Private Show by Britney Spears. Okay, so since I brought it up, the next one I'm gonna talk about is Zadig and Voltaire, This Is Her. Here we go. I actually haven't worn this fragrance in a while. Crazy, right? I don't know, sometimes now, it's still pretty, but sometimes now it bothers me when I wear it. Like there's a sharpness to it that kind of annoys me while I'm wearing it, and sometimes it'll even give me a headache. So the last times that I've worn this, I've layered it. I've been layering it with the Girl of Now Shine. It's not in this lineup, but that's what I layered it with. I really like that combination. I actually tried it because of Maria, or it's MJ here on YouTube, because she said that Tuberose Castaigne, I think, by Amazing Lancome, reminded her of a combination of Girl of Now and This Is Her. I don't have the original Girl of Now anymore because I prefer the Shine. So I was like, that sounds like a good layering combo. Tried it, really enjoyed it. So if you have Shine and This Is Her, try layering them. It smells really good right now though. I'm gonna have to revisit this. Like I said, the woodiness in this reminds me a bit of the woodiness in By the Fireplace, but without the smokiness. And then there's a sweet creaminess to it. It's not overly sweet in my opinion, but there is a sweet creaminess to it that reminds me of dulce de leche. There is no dulce de leche note in this, but it's like a sweet milky creaminess. So that's why I layered it with the Private Show, because this actually does have a dulce de leche note, and it just sweetens up This Is Her, and I feel like it kind of tones down that sharpness I can sometimes get from this. Like I said, that jasmine note in here, I think the jasmine note is what annoys me sometimes. I feel like that's what it is, because I told you guys that it just adds a cleanness to the fragrance, which is kind of odd, because you have all those sweet notes, and then you have that woodiness, and then you have this random cleanness. And as I mentioned previously, it smells like clean skin after you just washed it with bar soap, like a Dove bar soap or something like that. That's what the cleanness in this reminds me of. Not really a soapy cleanness, but just clean skin. So maybe it's like I don't know if it has a musk note or not, but maybe it's like a skin musk note that it has. I think I put this dent in this in the beginning when I first got it, because I was literally obsessed with it when I first got it. But I used half, and it's a 100ml bottle, so that must mean something. I'm gonna revisit this. Anyway, again, that is Zadig and Voltaire, This Is Her. So next I have Leviable Intense Mint. Look at that dent. This is about gone here. Probably get maybe a couple more uses out of it. Maybe more than a couple. Y'all know I love this. To me, this is a syrupy raspberry and heliotrope fragrance. And I've mentioned previously that heliotrope kind of reminds me of a lightly powdery, doughy vanilla and almond scent. So yeah, that's what I get from this. And the vanilla in this is delicious. This is very sweet. So if you don't like your gourmands, you might not enjoy this, but if you love gourmands, you like raspberry, you like heliotrope, or how I described heliotrope as smelling, then I think you might enjoy this fragrance. Yeah, this is really good. I think it has a heliotrope note, and then it also has a vanilla note as well separately. And yeah, the vanilla note also adds some creaminess, and it just smells, the vanilla note in this is very prominent as well. I'm smelling it now here, and yeah, it definitely has a prominent vanilla note as well. Great performance, great longevity. Again, that is Leviable Intense Mint. So next here I have Ariana Grande Cloud. As you can see, I am almost out of this. Y'all, what's crazy is I love Cloud, but I don't really wear it out the house much. And it's not like I won't, because I have, and I do like it enough to wear it outside, but it's not one that I really think to reach for when I'm getting ready to leave and go somewhere. This is one that I spray on for bed a lot. This is another one of those bed scents that I just really find really comforting. It relaxes me, probably because of that lavender note. I do smell the lavender note in this. To me, this smells pretty unisex. It's an aromatic toasted coconut scent to me. Also got that praline note that adds a bit of nuttiness to it and a bit of like caramelized sweetness. I should wear it out more often, like outside of my house. So yeah, again, that is Ariana Grande Cloud. And y'all see most of these are used quite a bit. I have a bad habit of, like, when I get to this point of a fragrance, a lot of the time I'll stop reaching for it. Like, I can't just get another one, I'll just stop using it because I'm like scared to run out, I think, subconsciously. But I'm trying to not do that anymore. That's how I got rid of the only one, because it's like, girl, just use it. You can always get another one. It's not going anywhere, I promise. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if that's something that you guys do as well. Anyway, again, that's Ariana Grande Cloud. So next here I have Lavender Illusion by Viktor and Rolf. As you guys can see, I've used about half of this. Isn't this bottle just so pretty though? I love the detailing, the bubbles in the glass, literally, it's gorgeous. But yeah, I haven't worn this one since it was warmer outside. I don't really wear this in the cold because I feel like it kind of amplifies the lavender note and kind of makes the sweetness from that black currant note disappear. It's just so refreshing to me. I love it. The pine note in this, I find it to be very invigorating. It kind of just wakes me up and uplifts me and just makes me happy, as you guys can see. Oh my God. I think I kind of missed this. Anyway, yeah, so in the opening, I get a lot of that pine notes. I mean, it's literally like literal pine trees. It's very green in the opening and aromatic with that lavender note. And I feel like once it settles on my skin, I start to get more of that black currant notes, and it's tart in this, but it's also a bit sweet. I still get that pine note in the dry down, but it settles a bit. It's not as potent as it is in the opening. And the lavender note, I think I mentioned this previously, it is kind of like an illusion. Like, I smell it in the opening, and then as it settles, I kind of get it here and there, but I don't smell it continuously while I'm wearing it once it dries down. To me, this is a beauty. I love it, and I can't wait to pull it back out when it's hot again. And also, just to note, I don't think this fragrance is a safe blind buy. So if you're thinking about picking it up, maybe get a sample first, because I can see it being off-putting to some people. I think primarily because of that pine note, and I guess also if you don't like lavender, you might not like this, but I love it. So yeah, again, that is Lavender Illusion by Viktor and Rolf. So next here I have Caramel Overdose by Be Layered. And y'all, I feel like this wasted. It had to. I don't know, maybe I did use it, but I don't remember using this much of this one. I just did an Empties, and y'all saw I had another bottle in there. This is my second bottle of this one, and I don't remember having used this much. Anyway, I probably did. The way I spray, I most likely did. And it's only a 50 ml bottle too, so. Oh no, it's 60 mils, it's 2 ounces. Either way, it's not 100 mils. And I spray this like crazy. And this atomizer on this bottle, I don't like these bottles from Layered, but it sprays out so much, so that's probably another reason why. Anyway, like I said previously, this is a dupe for Killian Love Don't Be Shy. Layered doesn't say it's inspired by Killian Love Don't Be Shy, but they are too similar for it not to have been. This is supposed to be a single note fragrance based on the note of caramel. I don't get any caramel from this. To me, this is like Love Don't Be Shy, but with an amped up neroli and an amped up orange blossom note. Those two notes are amped up in this fragrance to me. It's still that sweet, fluffy marshmallow scent, a bit powdery, and I'd say a bit bubblegummy. I do get that. I would think that there may be like a bubblegum tuberose note in this fragrance. And also, I've also said that every time I say this, I laugh because people think I'm crazy when I say it. It has a cola scent to me, like a Coke on the verge of losing its carbonation, or like I said previously, maybe like a Hennessy and Coke on ice. because the Coke will be less carbonated, and I could see that it will be considered a bit boozy as well. Oh, also this has better performance than the Kilian does. Projection wise, longevity wise, they're about the same, but the Kilian projects well for me as well, but just not as much as this. This is a beast. So yeah, if you were interested in Love Don't Be Shy and it's out of your price range, or you just don't want to fork out the coin for it, I think this is a relatively inexpensive alternative. I think it's only like $30 something for the 60 ml on Layered site. I like to use this when I don't want to use my love, but I want to smell like love. I think I mentioned that previously too. Apparently that's why I have this large dent in it. Anyway, again, that is Caramel Overdose by Be Layered. So next here I have Alien Fusion by Mugler. Beautiful red bottle. And as you guys can see, I think I've used a little bit more than half of this one. Right here. I always tell you guys, this to me just smells like big red chewing gum. And if you don't know what that is, it literally is a sweet cinnamon flavored gum. So yeah, you have that scent, and then there's also an orange blossom note in this fragrance. It kind of just adds a bit of freshness to my nose. I'd say it keeps it from being overly sweet. I think it has a ginger note if I'm not mistaken. You get a bit of spice from both that ginger note and that cinnamon note, and then freshness from that orange blossom, and it's literally like, it's so good. And I feel like, I don't know, I think this is pretty inoffensive. I feel like it just kind of has like that alien vibe, you know? It's like sophisticated, classy, I'm that bee type of a fragrance. I love it. I think it's a bit sweeter than Alien. I do get sweetness in Alien myself. This is my favorite Alien of the ones that I've tried. The original would be my second fave. I've also tried Essence Absolute, Sublime, and Flora Futura. I'm not a fan of those. My least favorite of those was Flora Futura, and then I'd say Essence Absolute. And then following that will be Sublime or Sublime. I don't know how it's pronounced. Anyway, again, that is Alien Fusion by Mugler. So next here I have a celebrity fragrance, and this is Fancy by Jessica Simpson. And as you can see, this is almost gone as well. This is one of the ones in my collection I've had for a long time. I think I've had this one since before I really started becoming obsessed with fragrance. So that's primarily why it has this large dent, because I think I had this at the point where I like to use up bottles of perfume before buying a new one. I know, who was I? But yeah, we all know Fancy. It's a sweet, caramel, fresh, slightly powdery. I don't know if there's an orange blossom note in this or not, but there's a freshness to it. Fresh powderiness, and then I definitely get that nuttiness from that almond note. And then you get the caramel. This isn't straight up caramel to me. I know some people label this as like a caramel gourmand fragrance. It does have those floral aspects for me, and then that powderiness keeps it from being overly gourmand to my nose. It's really beautiful though, and at the price point, you really can't beat that. So again, that is Fancy by Jessica Simpson. So next here I have Black Opium Nuit Blanche by Yves Saint Laurent. As you can see, I've used more than half of this, and I've had this for a while as well. So I mentioned this previously quite a few times. This fragrance to me is literally like you have a latte. I've said this a million times. Y'all are probably tired of hearing me. I'm like a broken record at this point. But you have a latte with loads of vanilla syrup and then a few pumps of caramel syrup. It's creamy, it's milky, it's sweet, and then of course you have that coffee. I really enjoy this fragrance. As you can see, this is a 100 ml bottle. Oh, it's 90 mils. Yes, 3 fluid ounces. But yeah, this is one I wear pretty much exclusively in the cold because it is a beast and it can be a bit cloying in the heat for me. So whereas I would wear the only one year round, this one I would not. So yeah, again, that is Black Opium Nuit Blanche. So next I have another celebrity fragrance, and this is Sofia by Sofia Vergara. As you can see, I've used more than half of this one as well. Oh, this is another one of those fresh, clean, slightly green, but still sweet fragrances. I'd say it's in like a similar vein as It All. They don't smell similar at all. I mean, like in a similar category. The sweetness is probably from the plum, and then I think it has a blackberry note as well. I think that's what's adding that tartness. It's a bit green as well. I think there is a cassis note, and that's probably where the greenness is coming from. Or I'd say there could possibly even be a patchouli note in it. I know there isn't one listed, but there's a slightly earthy greenness and maybe the slightest bit of creaminess. I don't know if there's a vanilla note, but there's something in there. But yeah, I really enjoy this one. Has amazing performance, smells quality, and it's super cheap. I think it's like $20. Again, that is Sofia by Sofia Vergara. And last but not least, we have my baby. This is La Nuit Trésor by Lancome. Let me turn it to the side so you guys can see how much I've actually used. As you can see, I've used more than half. It looks like I'll be out soon. What's crazy is, well, I guess it's not crazy because it gets thinner at the bottom, but when you look at it like this, it doesn't even really look like I used that much. But when you turn it to the side, it tells you the truth. So this is a sexy, grown-up gourmand. I love this. I sprayed myself in the eye. Ow. Ow, it really hurt. Yeah, like I said, sexy, grown-up gourmand. It is sweet and fruity. To me, I get that strawberry note that's in this quite a bit. It's very prominent and sweet and juicy, but also slightly tart. And there's also a very noticeable smokiness to this fragrance. I think that's what adds depth to the fragrance, and that's what makes it smell sexy to me, because you have that smokiness along with all these sweet gourmand notes. It also has a very noticeable caramel note to my nose as well. And this caramel isn't like your caramel syrup. To me, it's more of like a creamy, buttery caramel note. This is that girl. I told you guys, I feel like I have to look the part when I wear La Nuit. I feel like it needs to be cooler weather. Cool or cold is my preference. And I like to wear this at nighttime because I feel like it's a little bit too sexy for me personally to wear in the daytime. But yeah, again, that's my baby. I feel like this will always be my baby. And again, that is Lancome La Nuit Trésor by OG. Woo! So yeah, that was a long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And also let me know down in the comments what you guys have put dents in your collection. I think it's kind of fun to know like what we are actually using outside of filming. You guys pretty much know what I use because I tell you guys. But I think it's also interesting to see like what's really getting dents. I'm actually gonna tag some people that I wanna see do this video. I don't think Kia tagged them, but if so, it's just gonna be a double tag. I haven't seen them do it yet, so I'm gonna tag them because I'm curious myself. So I'm gonna be tagging my girls. It's MJ, Rebecca Collazo, Jeanne Antoinette, and Amber Chantel. I know Amber has some dents because I know how she sprays her perfumes on. She sprays kind of similar to me. I think she's a little worse than me though, I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, I wanna see you guys' dents. We wanna see y'all's dents. And yeah, you guys let me know down in the comments what fragrances in your collection you guys have put dents in, because I'm curious to know about what you guys have been wearing as well. That's it guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.